Hey, welcome back to Up in Smoke, all about barbecue. I'm Becky, and right now I am getting ready to make some peach cobbler. Now, I love peach cobbler. I usually bake it in the oven, so this is gonna be a little bit of an experiment because I thought, why not put it on the grill and get a little smoke on it? Because we all know grilled peaches are absolutely delicious. You know, when you sprinkle a little honey on them and then a little cinnamon, put them right on the grill. So we're gonna do our peach cobbler on the grill. And what I'm gonna start with first is greasing my pan. And one thing that I've found is really easy, you can melt some butter or soften it and rub it all around, but I also just use some coconut oil. I get a paper towel and I just scoop out a lovely amount of coconut oil, and then I can just very easily rub it around because my coconut oil stays soft. I don't have to worry about getting it soft like I do with butter out of the fridge. And rub that all around, and then my fingers aren't quite so messy and goopy as they normally would be. And then I'm just gonna pour in my peaches. These were frozen peaches that I just thawed out, and it's about 3 cups of peaches. We're just doing a small pan today. So the next thing I'm actually gonna do is go back here to the stove top, and hopefully my cameraman's coming with me. Cameraman and favorite taster. What I have going in here so far is 2/3 a cup of sugar and a tablespoon of, you can use either cornstarch or tapioca starch, just some sort of starch in there like that. And then I'm gonna pour in about a cup of water and stir this in with it. And then we're gonna bring it to a boil. And we're gonna let it boil just for about a minute before we pour it over our peaches. So we're gonna get this going, let it boil, and then we'll be back over there by our peaches. Okay, so I've got my syrup basically all nice and ready. Let it boil for about a minute. Pour it all over these peaches, and I'm gonna stir these up just a little bit. Make sure they're all nice and kind of submerged in this sweet syrup. So then I'm going to just take a little cinnamon, sprinkle this just over the peaches a little bit. Then I'm gonna take this butter. This is about 1.5 tablespoons just cut into these little cubes, and just kind of throw these on top. The cinnamon and these peaches smell so good right now. Then, now that I've got that, just kind of put all over, I'm gonna grab my dough ingredients real quick. Okay, so I have just stirred together some of my dry ingredients for my dough. So I have just a tablespoon of sugar, I have 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I have a cup of flour. Now, if you're not gluten-free, you can just use a regular flour, same amount, 1 cup. This is a perfect 1-to-1 gluten-free replacement. If you do have to be gluten-free, this Bob's Red Mill is really good stuff. So that's what I have in my bowl so far. Then I have 3 tablespoons of butter that I have kind of cut up into some squares, and I'm just gonna start putting these in. And you can either use a fork to kind of cut this in together, or you can use a pastry blender like I've got, which we might need to scrape off every now and then, get some of the butter all incorporated in to where this starts to look like little dough balls. So I'm going to make sure I get my butter off, and we'll get this all incorporated, and then I will show you what it looks like when it's ready for our milk over here. Okay, so this is about where we want this pastry dough to be.
Okay, I have a question.
Oh, you have a question, oh favorite taster?
Yes, so we paused the camera so you could spend a few minutes getting this beat down. I'm wondering why you didn't use a blender.
Because, so a blender would actually heat up the butter and make it melt a little more than you really want to do at this point, because you want your dough to kind of start coming together. You can see some of these little dough balls starting to form in here. Hopefully you can see that with the butter. And you don't want it to become too soft and too blended, like I said, too melty, because that makes different kind of dough. But now we are going to add our 1/2 cup of milk to this and really get this dough all nice and doughy. Ha! How's that for a word?
All right.
So then we're going to drop this on. Let's see. So now you can see it's starting to really come together nicely. Then could actually do like little dumplings. The way my mom always used to do it, and it was my favorite way, I guess, because that's what I grew up with, is when it's these nice little almost biscuit-like blobs on top of your cobbler. Now maybe some people don't like the sound of blobs, but they're delicious blobs, trust me. So this is all kind of, I'm gonna mush this together. I'm using all kinds of technical cooking terms today. I know blobs, mush, all that, yes. And depends, sometimes if your dough doesn't come together enough, you can always add another like tablespoon or 2 of milk if you want. Let me get my other spoon here. Because sometimes this kind of dough is also a little finicky depending on your particular weather pattern that day. Like if it's super humid, that can have an effect on how your dough comes together sometimes too.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Sometimes a year, for me anyway, maybe I don't keep my house cold enough. My favorite taster gets super cold, and so I'm not allowed to.
Oh, come on.
All right, so our dough is coming together nicely. A little bit sticky, which is right where you want it to be. You can kind of hear it. Like I said, if you need to, depending on your conditions in your house and your flour, you can add a little extra milk if you need to. And then once it's like this, nice and doughy, I'm just going to start taking little blobs, like I said, and just putting them on top, dotting the top of it. And we're going to put all this lovely dough across here. The cinnamon still just is so fragrant, smells so good. And just putting them on top, dotting the top of it. And we're going to put all this lovely dough across here. The cinnamon still just is so fragrant, smells so good. This is gonna be delicious. Looking forward to dessert once this gets all baked off the grill and we get a little vanilla ice cream on top of here.
Yes.
That's the only way to eat peach cobbler, is hot with vanilla ice cream. At least in my book. So, we're almost done here. Then, once I've finished this last little blob in my bowl here and clean out this bowl, we are going to head out to the grill and get this going. Okay, so we are going to just get this on our grill, keeping it somewhere between 325, 350, and just put it on the indirect side, and then we're going to get it all nice and smoky and baked. And if you want a bigger pan size cobbler, you can double the recipe and use a big 9x13, but we're just doing a small one for me and my favorite taster.
Yeah.
I hope he'll let me have some, but we'll be back when we check this in about 30 minutes. Okay, so I've looked at this once or twice, and we're going to check it again now and see. And yes, our syrup is nice and bubbly. The little dough is nice and golden brown. So we are going to pull this off and shut down the grill and go inside and get out some vanilla ice cream and give this a taste.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to bring in my favorite taster. And
Yes.
we are going to serve some of this up. You get to scoop the ice cream.
All right.
This looks really good. Get you a yummy little...
Got some HEB Creamy Creations because we live in South Texas.
The best.
Yes.
Oh, and the Creamy Creation stuff is some of the best ice cream. I'm going to get some more.
Is there a spoon for me?
Peaches. What?
Was there a spoon for me?
A spoon? What, you think you need a spoon to eat with
We
or
got
something?
a spoon over there. Oh, I see 2 spoons. Never mind.
I do.
Yes.
Some ice cream on there. It's nice.
Oh,
and
man.
Still steaming,
Okay.
so we can get this
Hold on.
ice cream all melting on here.
All right. I can't wait. Really interested to see how smoky this is. I'm addicted to smoke. If you haven't already figured that out.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, you know, I got a smoking hot wife. That helps.
Ha ha ha! You're so funny. I need a little more there. I need a little more of the syrupy stuff.
All
I need a
right.
little more syrup, it seems like, than
Yeah, it is.
normally.
It does seem a little syrupy. You want another
I've
scoop?
not had quite enough.
Is that
a little
enough?
more. No, a little more.
We are eating dessert before dinner today, which is okay in my book. I need a little bit more.
Life is short. Eat dessert first, right?
That's right. All right. Cool.
It's the weekend today, so you know.
Let me
all
put this
rules
ice
are
cream
off.
away real quick.
Okay, you do that.
All right.
Woo, hopefully this doesn't burn our mouths because I do want my ice cream to melt around in here.
I'm diving right in. I'm going
Oh, of course you are.
get a bite without the ice cream
Be
on
careful.
it. So I want to try the smoky part.
Without the ice cream, be careful. It might be hot. It's gonna be hot.
Mmm.
I need a what? What's that?
Oh, the smoke.
Oh, you got some good
smoke.
smoke on there.
Yeah. I just really wasn't sure if we were going to get smoke. It's not a super long cook time, really. This is amazing, as usual.
But the peaches are, you know, not so dense as like muscle meat, so they're gonna absorb a little more, possibly.
Ouch.
Maybe.
Okay, that was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got the breaded
Ice
part
cream there. Yeah.
in my
nice
mouth
smokiness.
mostly. I didn't try the peach to see if it's got the smoke too.
Peaches do a little bit.
The peaches do have some smoke.
And the breading, yeah.
Yeah.
The dumplings on top.
This
I love
is a
peach
hit.
cobbler. My mom used to make this one all the time when I was a kid. We had a couple of peach trees in our backyard.
Oh, I didn't know you had peach trees. Is this in Helotes?
No. El Sendero.
Wow.
I've told you about that before.
Probably, but I've slept
She
since
used to
then.
make peach cobbler, fresh peaches.
Yeah. So, it is interesting how there is a huge smoke flavor. I mean, huge in a desirable way. I really wasn't confident that it would be that noticeable.
No. No, yeah, it's a very nice compliment to the peaches, the cinnamon flavor,
Yep.
the crust. Kind of forms its own little crust.
Yes. You had me at dessert.
Yeah.
So,
This is our dinner too.
yeah. So what else? Is that pretty much a wrap?
Oh yeah, I guess we should do that, huh? I'm so into eating my peach cobbler.
Yes.
One of my favorite desserts anyway.
I'll eat, you talk.
And like I said, you can absolutely make this gluten-free if you need to be. I made a rhyme. Ha! So thank you so much for watching. Give us a like and a subscribe, and we will see you next time. And I'm all finished my peach cobbler.
There you go.